What's good, everybody? I'm here to tell y'all 5 must-draft players for fantasy football in 2023. Now, we're going to be bringing quality fantasy football content for all of the fantasy season, so stick around and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first guy I have is someone who is a former all-pro caliber receiver with the top 10 and 15 quarterback in the league on a great offense who has missed a lot of time over the last 2 years. That guy I'm talking about is Calvin Ridley. He is an insane value at his current ADP around the 8-9 round turn, and this is why. Calvin Ridley may have disappointed fantasy owners in 2021, but his advanced metrics were still great, finishing top 10 in target share and top 5 in air yard share. Some of you guys may ask, well, why didn't he get more receptions? Well, you have to remember he was playing with an old Matt Ryan, and he finished with a 71% catchable target rate, which ranked 73rd in the league, meaning nearly a third of his targets weren't even catchable. And that is bound to change with a superstar quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, who finished top 10 in total accuracy. Draft Calvin Ridley now. The next guy on this list is Garrett Wilson. I am a big believer in Wilson, and this is why. Most people look at Garrett Wilson and see that he finished as a wide receiver 22 and think he wasn't that good last year. But in reality, his season was a tale of two ends. Garrett Wilson averaged 17.3 points per game without Zach Wilson throughout the whole year, which would have made him the wide receiver 9. He was also top 10 in targets and red zone targets, only getting 4 touchdowns, which is very promising signs for positive touchdown regression. Garrett Wilson was also victim of poor quarterback play, with only 63% of his targets being catchable, 93rd in the NFL. He is moving on from Joe Flacco, Mike White, and Zach Wilson, and is going to by far the best quarterback of his young career, and that is Aaron Rodgers. The future is bright for this man. Next on the list is David Montgomery. David Montgomery is known for his hard downhill running and his nose for the end zone. Does that sound like anyone? Jamal Williams. And who is not on the Lions anymore? Jamal Williams. How many touchdowns did Jamal Williams get on the Lions? 17 touchdowns. The Lions replaced DeAndre Swift with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamal with David Montgomery. Now we know Jahmyr Gibbs should be better than Swift, so why should we rely on David Montgomery being around the same or better than Jamal Williams? First, David Montgomery is a better runner than Jamal Williams. So David Montgomery finished top 10 in juke rate and evaded tackles and top 20 in yards created per touch despite playing on one of the worst teams and offensive lines in the NFL. Jamal Williams played on one of the best offensive lines in the NFL and finished outside the top 30 in those respective areas. He also doesn't catch the ball at all, getting a 2.9% target share compared to David's 11.9%, which is top 15 in the NFL. Add this to David Montgomery's ADP of round 6 behind guys like Javonte Williams and Isaiah Pacheco, Montgomery's a surefire bet. Up next is Cam Akers. Cam Akers had a drama-filled 2022, but he finished strong in the last 5 weeks, averaging 17.7 points per game in that stretch. During that same stretch, Akers also finished with a strong 4.9 yards per carry on 17 carries per game. Coming 2 years off of the Achilles tear, Akers finally seems to be back at full health. Sean McVay has also come out and stated confidence in Akers, saying that Akers will be a central figure in 2022, which the Rams displayed by not spending any high draft capital on a replacement. They did draft Zach Evans in the 6th round, but indicated by his low 25% college dominator score, he shouldn't be a threat in this backfield. Due to Akers' finish to last year and the Rams' belief in the running back, he should be in for a strong campaign off of volume alone. Final guy on this list is Joe Mixon. Now that all the rumors about Joe Mixon being cut or rumored suspension due to legal issues are out of the way, let's cut the BS. Removing the Week 17 game against Buffalo, Joe Mixon hasn't finished under 16 points per game since the 2019 season. He averaged 18 points per game in 2021 and 17.1 in 2022. Still ranked top 15 in target share, yards per route run, and receptions for running back last year. Although his efficiency took a dip, he still scored many touchdowns, culminating in a 55-point performance against the Panthers, and is still going to be the RB1 on a top 3 offense in the NFL. The Bengals also increased their offensive line talent, picking up Orlando Brown Jr. Mixon is top 10 down. And that's all for today's episode. It was a little short episode on 5 must-draft players that we must have in fantasy football. Peace.